Hello guys, welcome back to my Odoo theme development tutorial. In today's video, we will be focusing in our homepage layout. If you haven't done my previous tutorial regarding header and footer, I will include the link on the description. Before we start, if you want to get my latest tutorial, please hit like and subscribe. At the end of this tutorial, you will learn how to inherit homepage, add new layout, bootstrap classes, custom styles, and classes. Going back to PyCharm, let's run Odoo. Let's go into our browser. Type localhost 8069. As you can see, we already finished the header and the footer. Now we will focus on creating our homepage. This is the layout of our homepage. We have the hero image, explore cities, new properties, property agents, and contact form. First thing we need to do is to locate where is the homepage layout. Let's go to Odoo server, add-ons, website, data, website data.xml. Search homepage, copy the code, create a new file, homepage.xml, add a declaration, type Odoo, and paste the code. Since we already have the code, we can just simply add inherit ID and add custom homepage. To replace the default homepage layout, we will use XPath and the expression will be // to select any nodes with t tag. Since we have two with t tags, we will select t-call at website.layout and the position is replace. Let's copy the code, edit, and add this is the new homepage. We need to add it to manifest file. Restart the server. Go to the browser and refresh the page. Since we need to update the theme from the backend, we need to log in. Type web/login in the URL. Email is admin, password admin. Go to website and open a new tab so that no need to go back and forth. Then go to settings, website, and pick a theme. Click update theme. Go back to front end and refresh the page. Now we successfully inherited the homepage, but we don't want this extra text. To delete that, we need to remove OEMT, edit the closing tag, go back to homepage and refresh. Now the text is gone. Let's do the hero image. Here we can use existing code from Odoo. Under website add-on, go back, go inside views and snippets. Select scover.xml, click and drag to PyCharm. To see this snippet looks like, in our homepage, click edit. Click and drag over to our homepage area. You can see that this is similar to our design. We don't want to save this, so click discard. Copy the code and paste to our homepage. Go back to browser and refresh the page to see the changes. Now we can just replace the text and image, copy the header, and replace the current text. Next, copy the paragraph and paste. Add break. Next, type learn more on the button. Go back to page and refresh. Okay, let's fix the style of the button. Add margin tab. Make it rounded. Add horizontal padding and font weight medium. Go back to page and click refresh. Next is the background image. Change the source URL to theme your home. Static source img, and the file name is homebg.jpg. Go back to page and click refresh. We still have issue on the size and darkness. Let's remove the filter. Parallax fix and background position. Go back to homepage and click refresh. Now we're done with the hero image. Now we move to explore cities. First, we need to add a new section, a container, and a div with text align center. Add h2 tag with class h1 to make the header bigger. Copy the paragraph text. Paste. And add break. Go back to browser and reload the page. Okay, but we still have issues on the spacing. Going back to PyCharm. Let's add vertical padding to header and text. Reload the page. Okay, padding was added. Next, let's add the cities. For this, we need a row and add 4 columns. So we add col-lg-3. It's 12 divided by 4. Let's type image1 for now. Copy this code. Paste it 4 times. Go back to browser and reload the page. Now we have 4 columns with equal spaces. Going back to our layout. Now we need to add the image and country name. Inside column, add a new div and make the display as flex for easier styling. Let's make a temporary image text for now. Then add a new div. Let's add the country name using h5. Let's type country name and use span or div for city name. Next, we need to replace this image text. We can copy what already there so that we don't need to type this code again. Copy and replace this text. Let's type div img source and paste the code. Let's fix the closing tag. And let's add a new class img fluid. I think it's better to add a new custom class. So we delete it. But before that, we add a new class in the section. Let's name the class Explore Cities. And then in the image, we add country image. Then we go to our styles. And add the classes we just created. Country image, then object fit, cover, height 100%, width 100%, but we need to add a new class to the image container so that we can control the height and width. Image container, make it the same 100 pixel for height and width. Go back to page and refresh. Now we make it align center and add margin right to the image. Let's check the changes again. Then let's remove the margin bottom of the country name. Reload the page to see the changes. Make the image rounded. It's not working. Let's remove MD. Go back and reload page. Okay, so we can just copy this code to all the columns. Then change the image to ct1.png. Copy, paste ct2.png, ct3.png, and ct4.png. Let's see the changes. Okay, we have duplicate image. Let's see. Okay, I typed 3 instead of 4. So now we can just copy entirely this row. Okay, we add the other 4 cities. Let's add margin top and change the images. CT5, CT6, CT7, and CT8. Let's increase the top margin. So now we have completed Explore Cities. Next, we will do New Properties. Let's create a new section. Add a new div container. Add a new row. Add a new div. Let's add h2 with h1 class to our header to make it bigger. Then let's copy the previous button style. Let's remove the unnecessary code and type view all properties. Let's remove the padding. Click refresh. But the view all properties should be on the right. Let's add a new class deflex. Let's remove this and make href only. and add margin left auto so that it will move to the right. Okay, now that's done. But we need to add top and bottom padding. Let's see the changes. In Odoo, we have default Odoo classes O underscore CC, which will have different background. For example, OCC2, but we need to add it in section. Let's try OCC3. It's a different background again, but this is not what we wanted. Let's try OCC4. Same thing. In our design, it's dark gray. So let's try OCC5. Now this is what we wanted. And let's add margin at the top. Next, we need to add the four properties. Here we need to add a row and four columns, having column with 3, so we add col dash lg dash 3. Let's copy 4 times. Go to the page and reload. Let's copy the same image we added on Explore Cities. And let's change the image to property1.png. And let's change the class to property image and add a new class to our section. New properties. Let's go into our styles and let's add it here, put a comma so that it will copy the same styles in Explore Cities, and we add the new property image class. Let's go to the browser and reload the page. The image is not showing. Okay, it's a wrong file name. I need to rename it to property1.png. Let's reload the page. Now it's working fine, but the width and height is wrong. So we need to add a new class. Let's name it property img container. Let's delete width and make the height 300 pixel. Let's update the class for the img container. Reload the page. Now this is better. But I think it is better to separate these two classes. And then we will combine the image into one class, which is object fit. Let's change the class name to object fit. Go back to browser and reload again. We need to remove the margin. But still the height is high, so let's reduce it to 250 pixel. I think that's fine. So next we need to copy this code to every columns and change the image name. Okay. Next we need to add top margin so that there will be space between the header and the properties. Let's fix the header, make it align item center. Next, we need to add the property details. Under image tag, we need to add a span and add a class text mutant so that the color will be gray. And make it display black. Same with the price and location. Let's make it text primary and this is text slide. I think there's something wrong here. So we need to remove this and put it under the div tag and create a new div. Paste. Let's check. Okay, now this is better. But still we need to make the price bigger. Add h3 and let's remove the margin. Next, we need to add margin at the top, so it will move a little bit down. Now we can copy this code to all of the columns. Go back to page and reload. I think we can still reduce the height of the image. Let's make it 220 pixel. So we have successfully created new properties. Now let's move to property agents. Let's create a new section and add a class property agents. And let's have a container and a div with text center. Let's add h2 with class h1 for our header to make it bigger. Let's do the paragraph. Copy and paste. Add a break. And let's add top and bottom padding. We can add it here in the header div. Let's reload the page and check the changes. Now let's add all the property agents. Here we cannot use a row because there are 5 columns, so it's better to add a flex box. So we add a div with class flex, dflex, create a new div, with the class text center to make all the text align center. Let's add a margin on the right, and let's copy the image we created before, and let's just rename it agents img container. Let's copy the class. Let's rename the image. Let's go to styles, property agents, and let's copy the class name. Let's add the height 150 pixel and width 150 pixel. We can copy the same code, but first let's justify content center to make it on the center. Okay. Next, copy this code and let's paste it 4 times. But before that, we can add the agent name. We use h5, and then the company name, add it in a div. Go back to browser and reload to check the changes. Let's remove the margin of the agent name, and we need to add margin tab. We can change the margin to both left and right. Copy the code 4 times and change the images name: agent 3, agent 4, agent 5. Reload the page. Okay. But we need to increase the margin. Let's make it 5. Okay, that's better. Now we're done with property agents. Let's add a border tab of the footer in the footer so that we can see the difference. So right now we need a padding. So let's add padding bottom PB-5. Okay, so you can see we're done with property agents. Next, we'll move to contact form. Let's copy the same code we used in the hero image. And then we remove this code, add a new code. We need a row and 2 columns with equal width, call -lg-6. Let's say this is left column and this is the right column. Let's reload the page to check the changes. Okay, now we can change the code to contact BG. Let's reload the page. Now we get the correct background image. Next, we need to add the text on the left column. Let's add h2 with h1 class. Paste the code. Let's reload the page. Next, copy the paragraph. Paste. Check the changes. Then copy the button code we used in hero image. We remove the unnecessary code. Change this to only href. Reload the page. Okay. Add a break and let's display this on large screen only. But on mobile it will not show. Let's add a padding to the right. Okay, that's better. Next, we need to add the form. For our form, we need to add a white background. And then let's add the form. For the form, we can go to Bootstrap and copy some code. Not this one. Okay, maybe this one. So let's copy. Let's fix the indentation. Let's click code and then reformat code. Let's change the label, type. Let's make it your name and the ID is name. Let's go to the browser and reload. Okay. Here we need to add padding. Let's reload. If padding is okay, now we can change the placeholder. So we can copy the same code for email and phone. Let's rename it to your email. Change it to email. Type is email and the ID email. And let's make an example. Your email at ajscript.com. Change it to your number. Change it to number also. And the ID and example number. Let's type 123456789. Let's check and reload the page. Okay. Now only missing is the submit button. Let's type submit button. Type is equal to submit. And we add a class btn primary. Let's reload and check the changes. Oh, we forgot to add btn. So we need to add btn. And then we need to make a full width and margin on the top. Let's reload to check the changes. As you can see, we already finished all parts of the homepage. We have the hero image, explore cities, new properties, property agents, and the contact form. Thank you guys for watching and see you on my next tutorial.